public health has been undervalued. Public health has been pushed aside. Public health has not been understood. But what we have to do, I think, is use this moment to say it can't just be a moment. It has to be a movement. Congratulations, class of 2020. You've officially made it. Even though we aren't physically together, it's wonderful to be here with you.
About a year ago, you gave the convocation address for your students. And at that time, you paid tribute to the 2 million people infected and the 150,000 people dead. What should we anticipate next in this pandemic?
I am preparing my convocation speech right now. And I will tell you the message will be essentially the same, that we are leaders and that as we all graduate and move forward, what we are recognizing is we are entering a life of continuing service and continuing education, and that we should never miss the opportunity to advocate for being prepared and for being responsive.
Science and public health can help treat and manage disease, but in a pandemic where we continue to see people of color paying with their own lives, is there anything left in the innovation toolbox to not only treat, but to heal those wounds around race?
You use the word treat, James, which is important, that we have seen the unequal infection rates, hospitalization rates, and death rates among Black Americans, Latinx Americans, and Indigenous people. People in global governance are recognizing what we in public health had understood before, that discrimination and racism are public health problems. Treating only addresses the problem once it's matured into something that's clinically palpable. But prevention is a wiser, more economically viable, more sustainable approach to addressing racism and discrimination.
Today, people like you working in and for public health are the social activists of the 21st century. What do you think leaders in the struggle for civil rights, like Martin Luther King Jr., John F. Kennedy, Rosa Parks, what do you think they would say? What do you think our elders would advise us in the direction of?
You bring forward really important luminaries who understood that injustice anywhere is an injustice to all of us, because it really does weaken the social fabric. When you bring people like Rosa Parks to mind, I have to think about James Baldwin as well. James Baldwin is famously known to say, ignorance allied with power is the most ferocious enemy justice can have. Why I love education and I love the opportunity of our conversation is conversations like these allow us to address the issue of ignorance. We all collectively have that power to change, and that change can bring about health and wellness for all.
Dean Michelle Williams, we're not only honored, but we're blessed to have had this time with you today.
Thank you so much, James. It's an honor to talk with you.
From the Well is a new series with global leaders, brought to you by the China Current and Tsinghua Vanke School of Public Health.